And welcome back to another episode of Convos on College. Today's episode is called College Affordability, hosted by the usual June O,
Nola Sherrod,
Beatrix Keith,
and Ilinca Sasu.
There's really not that many people who have $70,000 just lying around in their pocket. I wish I was one of those people, but to be honest, I barely have enough to scrape together for a summer program or a vacation getaway. It's funny because just 5 years ago, my family could afford yearly trips to Korea and any dance class I wanted. Inflation and other economic factors have affected my family's daily life and forced us to follow a strict budget just to make sure that we can manage enough groceries for the week. And I'm one of the lucky ones too. I know people who had to move away to another state because California was getting too expensive or their parents lost their jobs. In those conditions, how are we supposed to figure out how to pay for college?
Education has been seen as a catalyst for growth and societal progress, but financial barriers are a huge obstacle for even the most deserving kids. When students are unable to afford college, it completely limits their abilities for socioeconomic advancement and success. Today, we are here with Katie Elliott, a recent graduate of Berkeley University, and she wants to talk about her experience with college tuition raises. Katie, how do you think the increase in college tuition has affected you and your college life?
So definitely the increase in the application process put a lot of stress on where I applied to. I think I wanted to cast a really wide net, apply to a bunch of places, but with each UC application alone being $70, I started to really limit my options. And I completely nixed any idea of going out of state. I'd originally had my heart set on schools in Oregon or Colorado, but once I learned how expensive it would be to go to an out-of-state college, that narrowed my options down to California instantly.
During a span of 40 years, from 1973 to 2013, college tuition increased by 274%. From 2000 to 2023, college tuition increased 74.7%. Despite the consistent and dramatic increases in tuition, the average earning for college-age people, aged 22 to 27, only increased by 19% from 1980 to 2019. All of this means that many people can't afford college without outside help unless they want to be paying off debt for decades after their graduation.
We all know that inflation leads to increased prices, but the problem is that salaries remain the same. Students like us will struggle to pay for college when we have to manage school, minimum wage jobs, and a social life. It's crazy how the inflation rate for college tuition increased by almost 500% in just 40 years, yet salaries barely increased by 110%. Like, imagine having to pay rent that costs $2,000 monthly and you only make $4,000 monthly. Half of your savings are gone because of inflated rent prices, and then you'll be in debt until your 70s. We're stuck in a cycle of debt with no way out.
You're so right, Ilinca. It's impossible to find financial stability, especially as a college student in this economy. I mean, I'm a high schooler right now, and I already struggle to balance my workload. And I can't imagine being in college, swamped by even more work and trying to manage loans and bills and time all at once. That would be horrible. And what's worse is that there's honestly no particular solution to this issue. We can't fix our economy or refuse to pay back our loans. The only way out is to move forward and keep pushing. A low financial point in your life doesn't define you as a person. It doesn't mean that you're going to be broke for the rest of your life or that you're not going to be successful. It just means that putting one foot in front of the other, taking one step at a time, will eventually bring you out of the depths. Just keep going.
This podcast was made with Soundtrap and music was taken from my movie. The statistics were used from the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics, the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, CNBC, Econ Life, Education Data Initiative, and New York's 529 College Savings Program. Thank you to Katie Elliott and Henry Lee for letting us interview you on our podcast. This has been Convos on College, and I'm Beatrix Keith,
June O,
Nola Sherrod, and Ilinca Sasu.